Thanks, Duffy. Thanks, everybody, again. So, are you ready to party? Are you ready to get on board? Are you ready to join us? We're the C Events team. You can see the opportunity all around you. We saw it all around us, and we wanted to bring this out to you and to the entire population of Australia, if possible. It is possible. Here we go. I've already introduced myself. I'm Emma. I work with the oyster industry in New South Wales. On the team, we have Asha, who will be talking about the content of our project, Matt, who will be talking about the physical components, and Marcus, who will be talking about the virtual components of our event. We'd also like to acknowledge the hard work and dedication of John Ritchie, who unfortunately can't be with us here in Canberra, but he has done a great deal for this project. So big thank you to John. What we got thinking in order to deliver in order to achieve what we had set out with our vision and mission was that we wanted something that's going to showcase the seafood industry. We wanted it to be virtual and interactive. We wanted lots of people to get involved and as many people as possible to benefit from the experience. We wanted it to reach heaps of demographics, as many demographics as possible, and we wanted it to be fun. No one's going to do it if it's not fun. So we were trying to get some inspiration. We were thinking, let's make an event, let's get some art on the street and have people seeing this art. Our inspiration came from other projects that have been done with other industries that have been really successful. So perhaps you're familiar with the Archer Bull Prize, which is a series of bulls that are installed in cities. And kids paint them, and they're fantastic, and they're mobile as well, so they move them around. I've had a few in my local community, and then one day they're there, and the next day they're not, and you think, oh, right, what was that? But it's to promote the agriculture sector. So there's similar things going on in other cities all around the world. Street art, movable art, permanent fixtures. Example of the pigs here at the bottom, that's something that's been done in the UK. So it's a successful strategy. We also wanted it to be a self-guided approach, so people can actually do this leisurely at their own time. Here's an example of other art tours that have been done in Fremantle, Sydney, and Manhattan. So you can download a map which has pinpoints where you want the installations that you might want to visit, and the sky's the limit. You can put as much information into a website as possible, but this just gives the user an easy way to navigate themselves around the art. So we're going to launch the event of the century with our art. We're going to do a series of interactive installations, which are called lamppost wraps. We're going to have 7 wraps, which each represent 7 different facets of the seafood industry. That includes aquaculture, professional fisheries, recreational fisheries, indigenous fisheries, science, the wholesaler, and the consumer. The idea is also to complement and enhance what's already going on, so pre-existing events. The event that we've chosen to launch this is the Hobart Wood and Boat Festival. This festival attracts over 60,000 visitors every year, and it celebrates the nation's maritime culture. Hundreds of boats from across the southern hemisphere come to this festival. And it also attracts a really diverse group of people. It's a family event, hundreds and thousands of people will come. People from foodies, the music industry, the seafood industry, of course. So it really will stretch out to a wide audience. The idea of these installations is that it will enhance the experience of visitors. These visitors are already going to be at the festival, so why not let's make their experience even better. It's going to motivate the visitors to engage with and cover more ground at the festival, because the way that we place these things will mean that they're actually enticed to visit more tents at the festival. The experience will extend beyond the gates of Hobart. It's a mobile installation, so we can actually move it around to different festivals. I'm going to hand over to, oh no, I'm not, this is my bit still. Ash is there, and Ash is there, so I got a little confused. But what I'm trying to tell you with this slide is Ash looks fantastic in that photo. So we're going to put him on one of these wraps probably, and the idea is that the point of this slide is to demonstrate how our idea links so beautifully with all of the other strategies that you've heard today. This could be you. This could be you on those racks, and it also can be promoted with the social media, Facebook page, And I will let the other guys talk a bit more in detail about how the linkage could happen. But yeah, there's a lot of potential there for merging these projects together. There's also been a lot of work done already on the ground. So our vision for the day, we're picturing ourselves being there. How are we going to make this happen? This is a map of the festival. And John, like I said, can't be here. He's done a lot of groundwork, and he's already sought support from TISIC, and we can actually launch this in their tent. We've already had discussions with potential sponsors and the festival organisers and councils, and the logistics, I guess to sum it up, the logistics are taken care of. They're not insurmountable, so it's actually a very, very possible thing for us to launch. So, now I'll hand over to Asha, and an even nicer photo of him, which we might also put on the wraps, and he's going to tell you more about the content that's actually going on to these things. Thanks, Asha.
I'm going to start with the question. How do we get the artwork? I'm Asha Flynn, I'm from Fremantle Opticals over in WA. Nice to see you. The answer that our group came up with is we're going to use school kids. They're malleable, easily useful, they're putty in our hands, toast, and possibly work for free. The way that if we were to use the school kids, we need to give them detailed briefs. So we need to control the message as much as we can. So we've got 7 sectors that we want to represent. We want to make sure that we're controlling how we represent them as well. The first sector was the wild catch, which is a few fishermen here. What we wanted the artworks to represent and have actually in the artworks was the act of fishing, the fishing gear, the boats, the weather conditions, and also the fishers themselves. Our industry is people. We want this to represent people. A lot of fishermen put a lot of passion, they put their life on the line, put their entire income. So we wanted the wraps to represent, or the artworks to represent, all of that passion that's involved in wild catch fishing. The second aspect was the aquaculture. The physical aspect that we wanted the artworks to represent was the harvesting, the equipment, the environment, and the fishers and farmers. The people again. That's who this industry is. The vital part that the aquaculture represents in our industry is it supplements our wild catch. If we don't have enough wild catch, we don't keep enough wild catch in Australia to feed ourselves. So we need the aquaculture to supplement it. The third part was recreational. And as much as they can be the devil sometimes, to some of the commercial fishermen in here, or professional fishermen, it's a valid part of our industry. What we wanted the artwork to represent was the families, the enjoyment, the equipment, the rods and reels, and the environments. So the beaches, the estuaries, the jetties, the boats. The fourth part was the Indigenous sector. So we all know about the training and the community involvement, the passing knowledge, and the commercial fishing. We wanted to also focus on the role that the Indigenous sector plays in the fishery management. So they're going to manage that fishery for the future. The next sector was the wholesaler. Being an ex-wholesaler, I say the most important part. If you don't have a wholesaler, no one buys your fish. Your boat can't drop it off at the beach and expect it to go somewhere. What we wanted the artwork to represent was the auctions, the markets, the unloading the catch, the transport and the delivery. There's huge vibrancy in fish markets, and I'm sure we've all been to SFM and noticed that. That's what we wanted to try and portray in our artwork. Another sector was science. Science is continually setting the parameters from within what we can work. So we wanted to represent the research, the data collection, the environments, not just the laboratory, maybe on a boat in the Antarctic like that. Also, the key role they're playing in our future. So, sustainable fishing, relying on science. Finally, is the consumer. Seafood is often seen as a celebratory meal. It's prawns at Christmas, fish at Easter. It's something to show off, to be proud of. I know it's a bit of a pissing contest of the serve the biggest prawns at Christmas. We enjoy that sort of stuff. We wanted the artwork to represent that, so the people as well, but also the family and the enjoyment. That's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Asher. Em and Asher will talk you through the concept and the content. I'm here to talk about the physical. How do we capture and engage with the hearts and minds of the festival goers at the Hobart Wood and Bone Festival? My name is Matt Watson. I'm the Fisheries Manager for the MSC in Australia and Southeast Asia. And I'm here today to talk about why lamppost wraps. How do we get to where we are today, and why do we use this medium to promote our message? So here you see a concept of how we see our lamppost wraps working at the Hobart Wood and Bone Festival in 2017. And these are the reasons why we chose the wraps, and we think we can gain great value from using them at Hobart and for future festivals. So the target audience, Em and Asher talked about, we want to engage with a family-friendly atmosphere. This is a classic design. You can see it highlights the industry through the boat, vessel and the fish. These kind of things will really help engage with families, and hopefully we can see adults and kids alike take something home from this engagement. You can strategically place these wraps. They can go wherever you want, as long as you've got the festival goers' permission to use them there. So that means you can link them in with high footfall areas. You can place them in areas which have high numbers of traffic, and you can also take that further and link it to your sponsors' stands. So when you see sponsors' investments, you can have one of these wraps with this tour going right past their tent, leading to more footfall to there and to your sponsors that have engaged and promoted this concept. The designs are eye-catching, and they flow through with the virtual and the physical. There's continuity there, and that can be taken forward for any further design work. The fit for purpose. What these wraps do, they do it well. We see them used in other festivals, in other areas to promote a message. And they're cost effective. What we found is that these wraps don't cost much money to print, the design costs are pretty low too, and what you have here is no advertising costs. So normally when we started talking about street art, we're facing the issue of having to rent out space to do these big design pieces. What we've got here is a reusable, a relocatable, and ongoing message that we can use for future festivals and future years. So the wrap design, what have we included and what are we omitting at this stage? This is currently a two-sided design, but as we go through Ash's concept of going out and reaching out to schools to get that artwork, we can make this three-sided, and that makes it even more visible and even more noticeable as you walk through Hobart. We want to engage users, so we're going to use QR codes and URLs to use both the technology advanced and those guys who aren't quite adapted to the QR technology. There's a brand there, so that boat and fish QR code resonates with our audience and is visual, and you see it across the lamppost wraps and the website. And we want our festival goers to engage, but we want them to take something home about our message and our industry. And that's why we have this blurb here, which talks about who we are as an industry and covers those 7 facets of our sector. Still got work to do. We need to work on our sponsors, and we're coming together with that. But the good thing here is that the sponsors can go and be bespoke. Festival on festival, year on year, these things can change, so you really can appeal to a wide audience. And we need to link the physical and the virtual. So we need to make sure these QR codes are working with the website. So we need to do a bit of testing before we go to Hobart Wood and Bone Festival in February. So the next steps, what are we going to do beyond today? Well, the team and John Ritchie are going to define appropriate sponsors for the Hobart Wood and Bone Festival. And we need to show that investment potential. For a relatively low amount of money, we can see a great return. And that's linked back to that footfall and those high traffic areas. We need to work out the print material. And what we're thinking at this moment is core fluid. Similar to how estate agents advertise open homes, we want to use that kind of material to draw people around this festival and make them take as much home as they possibly can. We need to incorporate those art panels into that third side of the lamppost wrap, and we're going to do that through ongoing outreach with communities and schools. And we're going to promote our approach. So we're engaging with local media, with the festival guides, and through our social media channels that the groups are taking you through today. So the ongoing replicability of this is fantastic. This design can be picked up and located to any festival which has foodie relevance across Australia. And Australians are foodies at heart. They love food, wine and seafood. So we think, giving them a bit more information about our seafood industry is a fantastic opportunity. And this can start as soon as we give this project over to someone to take ownership of it beyond the NSILP group. So we had the Fremantle Seafood Festival in early 2017. Following that, we've got the Mandurah Crab Festival. You've got the Chinawalma Festival in Port Lincoln. You've got the Melbourne Italian Wine and Food Festival in 2017 as well. The Rocks Aroma Festival. Noosa Food and Wine Festival. Harvey Bay Seafood Festival. Territory Taste Festival. And Shinju Matsuri Festival of the Pearl up in Bree. So the replicability of this project is fantastic. This isn't a one-off approach. This is something we hope that can give someone ownership of this approach, take it forward into 2017, and to promote our seafood industry for future generations. Now, the physical has to link with the virtual, and to take you through that story is Marcus.
Thank you. Everybody loves a game. Everybody's got a mobile phone. Game plus phone equals fun. My name's Marcus Nolly. I'm a rock lobster fisherman and the new chairman of Seafood Industry Victoria. I'm going to tell you how we're going to make this fun. Don't tell me you don't do it. Right? Pokemon Go. I was just up on Capitol Hill last night. I saw Pauline Hanson. Can you believe it? Chasing Pokemon up and down the lawn. Unbelievable. It's a magnificent thing. It's captured the heart of everybody. It's not just games though. It's even with what has previously been boring. People now are using their phones for all sorts of sexy things. Who would have thought ordering a cab would be sexy? Well, with Uber it is. Looks kind of cool. You can see the map. You can even rate your driver, although they can rate you. There's a lot going on with the phone, and everybody loves it. So we're going to leverage that new gamification of what we do to make this tour something special. So what is the game? Here's the concept. We start, as has been said, we start and finish in the Tizzy tent. Might I just throw it here and say to Julian Harrington, what an enormous amount of help it has been to at least have a footprint there within such a great festival like that. Because without that sort of support and assistance, this wouldn't even get off the ground. So the idea is that you would start in the tent, you would get access to the app-like product on your phone, and you would effectively embark upon what becomes a treasure hunt to go and collect the information on all 7 of these wraps which will be located around the festival. There'll be a map on it, it'll tell you where to go, you'll go and capture the next banner, unlock some information, go round and round. After you've done that 7 times, guess what? You go back to the tent, you say I've done it, you get a show bag. That's pretty good. Who doesn't want a show bag? Inside that show bag could be things like, you've got from our previous, one of our previous scripts, they've done some great articles in magazines like this fantastic Profish magazine, Seafood Industry Victoria, an excellent read, might I just say. That could be in the show bag. The calendars we heard from our previous group, that could be in the show bag. I've got a promise from Patrick Hunt. He's got a lock-up somewhere in Canberra full of FRDC squeeze balls. They could go in the show bag. Maybe some others of you have got other things that could go in the show bag. We want to make it special.
Can we put Patrick in the show bag?
Patrick can hand out the show bag. That's a great idea. Okay, so what's it actually going to look like? Well, it's going to look a bit like this, which looks like an app, but it isn't an app. And the reason why it isn't an app is because apps are too expensive. So to actually make an app like this would cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, way beyond our budget. And it's really complicated. But what we can do is make a series of linked websites that kind of looks like an app. And this is what you would see. You would first of all start, you get a map about where you're going to go. When you get there, you unlock a bit of content, get a bit of information, maybe answer a quiz question of which there'll be no wrong answers. You achieve objective number 1 and you go on to objective number 2. You go around the whole lot and you come back and you get your prize. Okay, so what have we learned along the way? We realised that getting all this together wasn't going to be easy, given we're from all over Australia, literally the 4 corners of Australia. So we knew we had to be organised, and we did that using some collaboration tools. So we used an online work collaboration environment to just lay everything out so we could all see what had to be done and who was doing it. We also realised we need clear roles and responsibilities. We didn't want to be falling all over each other, and there were some roles and responsibilities that logically fell to certain people. So, for example, John Ritchie on the ground in Tassie, it made sense that he could fulfil some of those roles. And communication, essential, isn't it? Communication. Martin Excel yesterday reinforced this knowledge to us, how important communication is. Martin also made me realise that when we do these things to focus on one core idea, which is a discovery tour, this is apparently called the hedgehog principle, so it also allowed us to shamelessly put a few pictures of hedgehogs on the screen as well. Thanks, Martin, for that tip. Pretty cute, though. Okay, we're almost there, but what we need, unfortunately, is a bit of money. We've got a lot of the on-ground logistics are done, a lot of the concept design work is done, but now we need to deliver it, and that means we do need some money. What we were after was around about 6 sponsors pledging about $1,000 to get the thing on the ground. Yesterday, Tassal came on board as being our first official sponsor with a pledge of $1,000. If there are others in this room who are so excited about this event as we are, please feel free to come up afterwards and pledge some more. We're good at pledging. The SIA is off the ground at the moment, so it's in our blood at the moment. Also, we need stuff for the show bags. There are things that people can offer, that people might like to get. We don't know what you've got, but if you've got ideas, please come and tell us. So, we're really keen. We're enthusiastic. We're excited about this. Matt's told me he's so excited, he's prepared to give up his day job and just get down there and make it happen. So that is commitment. Reality is, we will be there. The Wooden Boat Festival, 10 to 13 February in Hobart. We'll be there. We look forward to seeing you there. Thank you.